Now, I also talk in the book about the freedom food chain, because one of the things that we've been saying for a long time is that government has grown too big. It is not the responsibility of government to take care of every little thing in our lives. And as we're saying this, a couple days ago, Barack Obama was giving a speech saying how he's going to give Wi-Fi to everyone in America. So they're countering this with, well, what's wrong with big government? And then the other thing that we've been saying is that Obamacare is going to be the final nail in the coffin in making us a socialist economy where the government owns and controls the majority of our economy, and people are starting to counter with, well, what's wrong with socialism? So in the chapter called The Freedom Food Chain and in the Power of the Soundbite, I try to address that. I try to make what I hope is a convincing argument for why big government is wrong, why government belongs on the local level, and I do it through the freedom food chain, talking about how some of our freedoms are greater than other freedoms, but who determines the greater and who determines the lesser? For example, my right to life is greater than your right to drive on the wrong side of the road. So as fun as that might be for you, you jeopardize my greater right. So who determines that for us? Well, the Constitution certainly lays out some, but they don't go into detail. So how could someone in Delaware, a legislature in Delaware, dictate the same kind of speed limit for someone maybe in the busy streets of Los Angeles? They can't, because it's one size fits all. Does not work. So therefore, when those freedoms have got to be swallowed up by a greater freedom, you need to be accountable to the people who are going to determine that. When I first wrote that chapter, it was about 30 pages, single space, and I think I boiled it down a lot. But one of the things that I ended up cutting out was an analogy about if you had a very valuable diamond ring, and you needed someone to watch it, would you give it to a stranger? Would you give it to someone that you had, no communication with? No. You might give it to a neighbor who if they didn't return it, you're going to see them every day. And you're going to be able to say, hey buddy, you said you'd watch that for me. You're going to be able to hold him accountable to the promises he made to you. So why are our freedoms any less valuable than something as precious as a diamond ring? They are more valuable. Why would we allow someone to guard them when they have no accountability to us? So going forward into 2012, we need to be able to articulate why limited government, free enterprise, low taxation are good and right, and what is right if you consider yourself a humanitarian. So with that, I want to answer a few questions because, as you can see, I'm passionate about this. I can keep talking, but I want to answer what you want to hear. So, any questions? I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Arlene and Dick Smith and Dan and Ann and Ron and everybody who made this great. I understand you've done 35 rallies this year alone. That is tireless work. Oh my goodness, and you will probably double it between now and your primaries. So congratulations. I wasn't fishing. I need to. Oh, I know. But when I have the, I apologize for that. Sure.
Well, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Can you verify or not the rumor that's been going around that since the president lost his raid in Canada, it has a full flow toilet?
I don't know. Repeat the question, please. I don't know.
Don't repeat the question. Don't repeat the question.
But it is interesting how Barack Obama gets away with so many of his gaffes. And, yes, of course, Republicans make gaffes as well, but there really is a double standard how Barack Obama can give this speech about how we need things made in America, while he's on a bus made in Canada. Yeah, so actually on troublemakerbook.com, we have a list of all the whoppers that Barack Obama has made, and then as well as, the volumes of gaffes from Joe Biden. So, any other questions?
Well, as a beginning politician, what do you think of term limits?
I've always been for term limits.
Yeah. question, how long?
Well, you know, it depends on the office.
Yeah.
Any more audience questions? We have a press meeting right afterwards. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. I do want to say regarding that Piers Morgan interview, if I could, I set the record straight on Fox this morning, but I want to thank those of you who saw right through it. I think Piers Morgan exaggerated what happened, and many of you saw that it was inappropriate, and many of the bloggers have been saying it was very sexist, the line of questioning, and he tried to pin it on gay marriage, and that wasn't it at all. You know, I think that I was a good sport leading up to his inappropriate questions in the beginning, but we had gone way over the agreed amount of time, and he took a decidedly creepy turn, those of you who saw it, and he wouldn't let up, and I was well over a half hour late for the Republican women's event that was being covered by C-SPAN. I'm getting the wrap-up signal, and he wouldn't let go. So that's what happened. I think he exaggerated for ratings, but I do thank those of you who went on the blogs, who saw right through it, and who've been saying, you know, Piers, you treated her badly, you embarrassed yourself, and I thank you very much for that defense.
Last question. You have a question?
How do you get that interview if you missed it? Where do you go to find the Piers Morgan interview to hear what you're talking about, really?
Well, I think we posted it on my website because what Piers did was he took just a little part, and then he was
Selective editing.
Yeah, and you know, I don't even want to repeat what but he was pressing me about sex, you know, and I'm like, I'm not here to talk about sex, and he just kept pressing and pressing and pressing. So he took it out of context, and you know, what it was just question after question after question about sex, nothing to do with the book. And then right as I'm like, I don't want to go down this line of questioning, he throws the question of gay marriage in there. And really at that point, you could have said, you know, what's your mother's name? And I'm just in the mode of, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go there. And then they made it, you know, she doesn't want to address the question of gay marriage. For the record, I have addressed that, and that's what I said on Fox this morning. My position on gay marriage is the same as Barack Obama's, Hillary Clinton, Rudy Giuliani's, and Michelle Bachmann's. So, you know, I have been on the record on that issue. But it was the inappropriate line of questioning that I wanted to stop, and the fact that he had already gone way over the time that we agreed, and because of that, we had C-SPAN and a room full of Republican women waiting for me and literally calling, going, where is she? You know, everybody's here, where is she? And I'm, you know, tethered to the chair like, I gotta go. Are we done here or not? You know, I gotta go. So that's what happened last night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.